Hello guys, it's Paula, and I'm back today for us to do the next part of the rainbow book. So, we are now going to do pink. So, we've done green and red and blue, I believe are the three colors that we've done. Yeah, let me check here. Red, blue, and green. Red, blue, and green. So today we're going to work on pink. So the first thing we got to do is we've got to do this decoupage. Now, I know we've done decoupage a million times, but we have to have something on both sides, and I don't want to just slap a piece of paper on there. So what I want us to do is to decoupage from underneath and then on top. So I've not done this before. I've not tried to put my object underneath first, so there's no telling how it will end up looking. So keep your fingers crossed. Hope you guys are having a good day today. Need to get me some more decoupage or Mod Podge, I mean. Getting low. Okay, so I tried to think of different things. I mean, you know, you start thinking, okay, what can I do next? And you don't really quite know, you know. But I thought we would do the pink color and try to come up with some things as we go along as far as the things to put in the pockets and so forth. Now, on this side, I'm not sure about pockets. I was thinking maybe we should do you know, different cards, journaling cards, like, you know, just anything that's pink. It doesn't have to have any real meaning to it to be the one we do next. So, okay, trying to get this one underneath. Now, mind you, not all of them will look perfect. When you overlap, you're going to have different colors kind of bleed through. And that's okay. The main thing is that we want it to be pink. Pink, and this does have a few white flowers that have pink in them. So, okay, so we've got that layer done. So the next thing is to work our way to the bigger layers. I think we're going to do this small one on the end here. Right there, and I'm going to go ahead and add some Mod Podge up under this next one because it's easier to get to it sometimes from different angles. Okay. Now, I want to pull him up a little bit, and we'll see where it goes from there. Now, I'm going to pull these white ones, well, this right side. I'm going to pull the right side off for a second so we can go ahead and get this side done. Get it all laid down. The thing that was kind of makes this a little more tedious, not tedious, but that's not even the right word. Interesting, I guess, I'll just say interesting, is because it's got cream around the flowers, kind of a cream color, and I'm putting it on white because I really don't want cream in the picture any more than necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and put this whole bottom portion in. I don't know if that's going to help or not, but we're going to have some bare spots here. Now, I'm not trying to make it like a perfect decoupage. I'm just, honestly, just brushing over it, hoping that it smooths out okay. I know some people don't want even a wrinkle in theirs. I don't, that's not that big a deal if there's a wrinkle to me. It depends on really what you're doing, you know. All right, at least that's how I feel about it. Let's go ahead and put this flower right here and come back over it with this guy here. Yeah, that's not bad. This took a whole napkin. It took one napkin. I got it at Tuesday morning. I took all the plies, different plies off. I think there were 3. It was either 2 or 3. I think I pulled them all off together, so I really am not 100% sure. It may have just been one ply. But anyway, so paint all this on really well. Try to get the wrinkles, you know, out without tearing it. No bubbles would be good. Now I have this one little spot right here that is bugging me. So we're going to see if we can add a little bit of this green leaf. That's the only thing I've got left. So I figure green's better than white being on there. So let me get a little bit of, it'll still have a little bit of white mixed in it, but I just want it to kind of take up as much space as possible. Whoa, okay. Now, on this particular one, we will be doing, on the other side, it's a die cut I have had here around the house to do a girl page for, oh gosh, at least, let's see how many years, a lot, a lot of years. So, yeah, sometimes I know you guys probably do it too, buy something and never get it made. Well, that's kind of what I figured with this. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to, I can't get that to lay down. It just keeps popping up and sticking to my hand. There we go. I'm just kind of filling in the blanks with whatever I have right now. So here at the top, you can see that there's a couple white spots, but I'm not going to worry about it. Kind of got to be careful when you get a whole sheet like this, because you don't have anywhere to kind of hold it down, you know, because it's all wet. So I'm trying to put a coat over it right now so that when it dries, it'll be as good as it's going to get. We're not going to go back and put layer after layer. We're just putting this one right now. And when it dries really well, we'll be able to sew it to the back portion. Now, I may have to do the sewing off screen. Last time I showed you how I did it on the last video. And that was, I believe, the green page. And so you can go back and watch that if you want to know how the sewing takes place. The reason is because this is kind of time consuming. And honestly, I'm really just trying to show you how simple it would be to do like a rainbow book. Now this page was inspired, and the book actually was inspired by Linda Israel. I know a lot of people know who she is, mixed media artist. I watched her do a rainbow. I don't remember what she called it, but that's what we're calling ours, rainbow. So she may have called hers the very same thing. Okay, now this has to dry. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the lid back on the Mod Podge while we move forward here. And we may have to sew one portion. I'm going to set this over somewhere. The question is, where? I'm not a singer. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And then we're going to come in with the front of the book. Okay, so remember, we do 7.5 by 10 for the size every time we make one. This is the die cut. It was a 12 by 12. Sorry, I had to get a drink. I cut it down. I had about this much hangover. I cut it down, and then I cut this one strip off and moved it over here and pieced it. Now, this is attached to our dictionary page that we use every time behind whatever we choose, whether it's vellum, whether it's decoupage, whether it's whatever. You may or may not see it. In this case, we're going to be able to see it. And over in here is the word pink. It is actually circled by a pink circle as well, which I circle the color in each one. So I got a green dictionary page. I got blue. I got yellow, you know. And I just thought, well, if you happen to see it, it's there. If not, you know it's there. The definition is what I'm talking about. On this one, I decided we would use felt across here for a pocket. And then I have this little tassel trim. I thought we could take this little tassel trim and put it on here. But now we are going to have to stitch this on before we stitch this on to the page. So I'm going to move this water out of the way so I don't knock it over, because I would be the one to do that. And then I'm gonna stitch this super fast. Move water out of the way or I'll knock it over. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to move our sewing machine over. And I'm going to try to fix it where you guys can see the sewing machine. It won't take me but a second. Now, I am going to straight stitch this. Okay, let's see if you can see the sewing machine. There we go. All right, so I've put pink thread in the machine. Now, on the end, I did fold it under. This trim right here, I did fold it under on the tassel. And I may go back and whip stitch this right here, or just wait until I actually do the whole page. Okay, so I recommend that you do a straight stitch for this, because I got to get my pressure foot here. I can't reach it. You know, when you're in such compact area, you just put stuff where you can. Okay. Now, you'll want to back stitch. Oh, it's not wanting to move. Okay. Don't you love it when that happens? It's probably because it is felt. Let's take it out and start over. Just kind of hanging out there. I don't know why it's doing that. Didn't think about it. I haven't used felt on my sewing machine, so... or sewn felt, I guess I should say. And, we'll see. what the deal is. Let's try it again. This time we'll move over a little bit. Sometimes you just got to get on the fabric pretty well and then do your back stitching. Let's see if that works. Come on now. There we go. I am going to go back and hit the back stitch because... Okay, now let's see if we can get back up there. Come on. Cooperate. You might have a little bit of a bunched up stitch there. We might have to find something to put on it. Well, it didn't look horrible. I'm surprised. I'm leaving on just a tiny bit of pink right here of the fuchsia. Okay. Going right along. I hope this is straight when I'm done because it doesn't want to pull straight. What can I say? Has a little bit of a mind of its own. Sometimes even in crafting, you think you're in control and you're not. It's like, okay, that is not going to do what I want it to. Okay, let's push this up under here a little bit more. Okay. All right. Yeehaw. Okay, push that back. Come right here. So that doesn't look too bad. I got a pin in my mouth, so I'm going to sound a little crazy for a minute. Let's see what that looks like. It's a little crooked. So I may run another stitch through here before I sew the whole thing together off camera. Just to make it look messy like when we would doodle or something. I'm going to put this pin back in this tassel. Talk about hard to get a pin in. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is where this is going to go. It's going to go on this die cut page, which is covering the dictionary sheet. And I cut it down to the 7.5 by 10. Now, looks like it kind of pulled it up a little bit smaller than when I had it, but that's okay because we've got the ruffle on there. Now, we could go ahead and stitch this on, but you're going to end up with a whole lot of different stitches. And I honestly don't think you would be happy with it. So this is how this side's going to look. Now, on the other side, I said we were going to do the decoupage, which we are. And I just remembered we have been putting a little flap on here, so I want to make sure we don't forget to do that. I just think it's kind of its little signature thing. I don't know if those are going to be long enough. They're a little short, so let's get another piece out. That's a little longer. Now, I'm cutting this a little wide until I decide exactly how big I want it. Let's see. Then I'll try to do it straighter. So Charlie is coming to Grammy and Pawpaw's house for about 4 days. Well, today, this evening when he gets off from school, and Pawpaw's going to pick him up. He is going to come to Grammy and Pawpaw's this evening. He'll be so excited. He always is. Little angel. And he gets to spend the night with us tonight and tomorrow night and the next night. And Mom and Daddy had to do a conference in Dallas, I think, is where they were going. So we don't always have to put this right here. I have moved it up in different places. So maybe I don't want to move it that high. I think keeping it down in here is good. I like it. That's my favorite place. I wish I had never moved any of them up and down. But I wanted them to really be like tabs, you know. And then we'll add a button on here. So I may put this one at the top. We just may do it. If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to have to be the top or bottom. I don't like it in the middle. So I will add buttons on there that are pink. And then when we do our stitching, I will put this in. You know, I showed you guys how to do that. Okay, so on the other side of the book, we have to decide, do we want side tucks, pockets? What do we want to do over there? Do we want to do bags? Which, you know, I don't think I have any pink bags. Let me look just super fast. I don't think I do. I think I used them all. Need to get some, it looks like. No, I don't, guys. I have polka dot, but it's red and blue and green. So that won't work. I have white, but the white is not pink, right? But let me grab out of the, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to move my camera back. What a crazy woman. Okay, let me get it straight. Sorry about that. But at least you could hear, right? Okay. I'm not used to moving it during the whole process. Okay, so this is how it's going to look. We'll stitch around it. We'll put the tabs up here with a pink button on them. And then this will be our pocket for on this side. This side will end up looking like this, only with stitching. And then we'll fill the pockets. Now on the other side, we're going to have the decoupage sheet. And what I'm talking about right now is, do we want bags over there? Do we want some type of pocket on that side? I'm trying to think, because when you put something on the other side, you got to make sure that it will actually hold things. You know what I'm saying? So I know we've used a bag before. I know we've used side tucks before. I mean, we could use side tucks. It's been a while. Maybe we should do side tucks out of this. Let's think for a minute. I'm thinking out loud here. I'm going to fold this in half. Will this be strong enough? Well, I think it's strong enough as what a piece of paper would be. So what we'll do is, let's cut it. I'm thinking as we're talking here, guys. I'm sorry. Let's cut it into a tuck shape. We don't have anything to lose. I'm just going to do it. Let me think. Maybe we want to do it kind of like this. Straight up. And then straight over. Kind of like a triangle on the top. And then we could put them down like that on the other page. That's not so bad, huh? Now, we're not going to have the tassels on here, but we can come up with another way to design this side here. I even have some flowers that are similar to the ones that we decoupaged, but that's not really what I want to do. I kind of got the flowers out to do just in case we wanted to use them on something. So Okay, so we'll do this, and then I'll find some kind of lace or something to put on there. And that will be ready to sew. The decoupage is still wet, so we can't do that now. So let me show you what my next thought on this is. I'm going to set this to the side. I thought we could make a few things to go in the pockets. I have this leftover stenciled paper, text, old paper here, and I thought what we could do is add another page on top of this. Do you know what I'm saying? To make it a little stronger. Let me see if I have this size book. Yep, I do. I can never remember if I do or not, you guys, honestly. Here, let's put this under here. Keep from getting too much glue all over everything. And actually, we can just stick it here on our page. Now, I stenciled these a long time ago, but I didn't throw them away when I finished my project. And this is one of the reasons, because you can throw them in and use them. Anything you have left over, never throw away. Stick it in a Ziploc bag, stick it on your shelf. I use the big Ziploc bags for lots of things, to store lots of things. I label them with a Sharpie and keep everything kind of in the same area. If it's like I do my digital files, that way I will put the person's name, and then I'll do the, it's sticking to me pretty well here. I want this to be, it's a little bit smaller, but that's okay, because we'll fold it. Okay, let's stick this here. We can always trim it off. I thought we could do this one like a card, you know. And hopefully this is not a book that I haven't reviewed. I'm always afraid I'm going to get a book that is not very nice. Okay, and this one will, let me get this. I like to fold them while I'm working on them so I can get any wrinkles out, you know, because there's a big wrinkle in this one. Come on. Okay. Now, yeah, see, that's going to look fun. And then this would be the outside, and we could probably put something here on the front, you know, even maybe, I don't know, we'll see. I might put a piece of white paper or cream color paper behind this and kind of do it, frame it up or something. I don't know that for sure. We may put, we may just put the letter P, mat it with some felt, and put it on here in the middle, because we have to have the letter on there, because we've been doing that with everything. So I'm thinking on the inside of this, you know, we've been doing a lot of decoupage. Decoupage is really in, but this time we would do decoupage that will allow you to journal. So you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that. It will allow you to journal if you use more solid colors, such as, let me grab a couple more, just stuff that you can decoupage with, but we want to throw a little bit of pink in there. I got my basket all the way down, and I can't see it from way down there. So I'm looking for some pink scraps also to kind of throw into the mix. And any kind of journaling type paper that we can decoupage to the inside. Not necessarily tea stained paper, but you know, just paper that we can journal on. Here is a little piece of something. Okay, now here's a little, this will work perfect. I don't think we'll need any others. Okay, now I'm not going to ink these because it'll make it too dark, but I thought we could use this pink one as our kind of thinner section for journaling inside the book. Because, you know, they'll end up just opening it up and doing some journaling. Now, I'm just going to leave it right here on this to put the glue on because it's going to be covered in glue anyway, right? Okay. I like to get the edges when I do that, so. All right, let's just do it right here in the middle. I like the ones that are the ones you want to journal on to be in the middle. And I think I'm going to do it on the other side too, but maybe in a different position. Okay, do we want to put it down here? Let it kind of be... I really like it in the middle. Now, I don't necessarily want it to be lined up, but I do like it in the middle. And see, we could have journaled on the other side, too. I have this thing about buying, you know, purchasing paper that is different colors that you can journal on. I just like them. Now, I didn't overlap there because that's where the fold is going to be. I just didn't want it to be, you know, well, see, really, I need to trim that off a little bit more. There we go. There's nothing like being perfectly straight with that, huh? Okay, now, let's see. Let's put this one over here. Okay. Overlapping is the key to collaging. It's not the only key, but it's what gives it that look. And you don't always have to have it be just solid pieces. For instance, I hope the light isn't glaring too much. I did not prepare for that ahead of time. And I just hope it's not a problem for you guys. Okay, let's just put this one down here. I'm not worrying about things being flat up against the side. And these being flat because we're going to cover them anyway. Let's use some pretty old dictionary paper I've got here. Let me pull the white edges off, or cream edges, whichever you want to call them. It's funny because this is the letter P in the dictionary. I did not know that. Depending on what you're using, you can write over dictionary paper too. I'm going to use some tea stain paper. Now, we're doing this one, we're going ahead and collaging this because everything's drying. Now, in our next video, we will, I'll have this all stitched, and then we'll do our page decorating of the inside. And, some tea stain paper right there, which I think I'm going to use in 2 different places because I like the way that looks. Let me tear some more off. And in the next video, we will spray in our box and with a stencil on a music sheet and on a few pieces of copy paper, and that will add pages to the actual journal pages. Okay, I'm sorry. Can you tell I can't do two things at one time sometimes? I'm sitting here just mumbling along. Okay, so let's do this up in this corner. Maybe not quite that big. But I just thought, you know, we've been doing a lot of collaging. Maybe this is a great way to cover the inside. And got this corner over here, but I think I want to put some right there down the middle. I didn't get it quite everywhere by doing it that way. Just thought I'd try it and see how lucky I would get. Not so lucky. So I was going to add some pink in here, but then I decided I need some more. Here's it's a little bit heavier. Maybe it'll fit right up here. It's pretty white too, isn't it? That's all right. It's just because everything's multicolored and some of it's vintage. And, you know, we may have to end up inking it a little bit to kind of make it all blend. And that's not a big deal. I'm not that much, how do I put it? Not perfection. I don't mean it when I say perfection. It's not going to be... it's not going to make that much difference because this is going to be journaled on. Let me get one more piece for right here and right in here. Maybe we'll get something that's kind of a pale pink. I've already found something. What do you know? Okay. Let's see. All right. I really cover this because I don't want it to come apart. Okay. Got a little bit of pink in it. And I think we'll put some right here in this middle section. Not as big. Just enough to cover. I'm not worrying about it being in the center. Like I said, it's going to be okay. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like here. Some of it is still crossed over, so maybe we'll just cross it over. If we let it dry, there shouldn't be a problem with it. Maybe we'll just put a strip right down the middle. We'll just use this one. Nothing like just take, and this is a thinner piece of paper that I'm using as far as the pink goes. It's really kind of got a swirl of different colors in it. It's got some yellow and green and purple. And let's see. Let's turn it over. Get it covered really good because it's going to be on that middle section. I'm going to be doing a flip through in the next day or two of the little Uptown book, the pink and black. It really turned out cute. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to trim the excess stuff that's hanging over off because it's just sticking out all different directions. And this one little section right here just does not want to stay down. And that will be a problem. So I'm going to keep working on it till I get it down like I want it. The nice thing is it does dry clear. So, yeah. So if we're going to, let's just flip this over. Let me fold this. Okay. We'll flip this over and decide, okay, that's the top right there. And so I thought we would do this. Let me cut a bigger piece of, what did I do with the extra felt? There it is. We'll cut a bigger piece to do the letter P. Let's just do it right down here where we have a straight edge. Until I'm using my regular scissors on that. It's not as easy. I try to use my fabric scissors to cut fabric. I try not to use one for the other because it will dull your... To use paper with your sewing scissors or your fabric scissors will dull... It'll dull them. And they won't work as well when you want to cut fabric smoothly. Okay. So I'm thinking that we'll put this here. What do you guys think? We'll just do the letter P in the middle of the book. And then I may stitch around this book. It's wet now, so obviously we can't do it now. Let me put the lid back on. I don't know about you guys, but I lose the lid to my glue stick all the time. This stuff is strong, way stronger than I ever suspected it would be. It's interesting to me that it can be that strong. I guess I've always thought of the kids' glue stick for school, you know, you can never get it to hold anything. And I never could figure out why they had them to actually bring them. I think they just got tired of them eating paste and glue. And this way they didn't have to deal with it, I guess. Anyone getting sick. There are children that will eat anything. Okay, so here we go. Get me a wipey here to get the glue off my fingers. Okay. Now, I've got this glued down. So let's just add some glue to the back. And I'm not going to put it all the way out to the edge, just in the center section here. Probably won't be perfectly centered. It's all right. I just thought about it because I didn't have it folded. I should have folded it, but this would be fine. Okay, so we have our P for pink. We have an area to journal. I think we need to put like the word notes or journal or something. And I know I had something here that said that. But the question is what did I do with it? Where did it go? There it is. Okay. There's one that says notes. And it actually has kind of a cool flower there, doesn't it? I'm wondering, do we want to leave the flower on? I think we do. Just because it's different. I mean, it's not something you would think you'd leave on, but why not? I guess I could have used the glue stick on this. Oh, well, too late now. We know this will stay on, won't we? I think I'm going to do it over in the left corner. It just seems right to me to be there. Yeah. Now I may go, when this is completely dry, when I ink my collaging like this, I ink after the fact. Now I don't know if I'm going to, but I was going to show you on my latest collage sheet. This is the raw copy. This is the one that I actually collaged. You can see that I go back and I ink afterwards. And I do hit the rough areas. So it gives them a little. And then I generally ink over the whole thing. So I print this off. I can't find my other one. It's just like it disappeared out of the blue. And I know that I didn't throw it away. I would never have done that because I knew I wanted to print them over and over. Okay, so we have this all nice and ready. So that's one thing to put in our pockets. Didn't fold perfectly square. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't want to, you know, these things, these book pages are so fragile. You got to be kind of careful. Okay, that's one thing to go in our book. I found this little pink card, and I just put this, I'm going to find my gold pen. Put the word remember on there, and it has a little bit of gold foiling on it. So I just thought, let's put some gold around it to kind of mimic it. So there. It's not a whole lot, not a big deal, but every little bit helps. Now, I had a Mrs. Coggs picture that wasn't a perfect print. I don't know how that looks on camera. It's not a perfect print, but it had the pink in the garden that she always puts on her stuff. And I decided this is a rainbow book, you know, so it has like rainbow colors kind of mixed in it. And I just decided that's okay. I wasn't going to reprint it. And that we'd just use it like this as a journaling card. Here on the back is a place to put something. I think I'm going to put the word journal this time. Because we've done notes, we've done remember, and so let's do the word journal. I got to grab it out of here. Out of my words. Let me see if it's in here. May have to go to a different, nope, there's one. I love all these little words that Tracie Fox has given us in some of our kits. It just, you know, makes life lots easier when you can just, whoops, pull it out and use a word. I like to label different things like this, for instance, because it is a journaling card. I like to be able to do that. I want to get this all nice and square first. Well, not square, in the shape of a rectangle, but as straight as possible. Does not have to be perfection, but I like it to be as straight as I can. Okay. Now, if I were doing anything else except what I'm doing right now, I would definitely ink all my words, but I'm not worrying about it. And, you know, I also have a stamp for adding lines. You know, it's just, it depends on the mood I'm in, on whether or not I do that. So, you know, sometimes it will get inked and sometimes it doesn't. Or the lines, I mean, it will have the lines. Now this time instead, well, I could just do it with gold since we're doing it on the other thing. I like it to stand out a little bit, especially if you don't ink it. Or even if you do, I like when you have raw cut edges like this, I like to doodle. I've never done a real doodle for you guys. I think I did an envelope in one of the things that we did. So there are those. Now I have this. It was in all my stash, but it's been inked and it doesn't really go. So I think I'm going to toss that out of the idea here. I've got this big floral thing going on, but I also have this doily. I kind of thought at one point we might put the doily over something. I can't think of what it would be right this minute, but I've also got this pink envelope, and it has a sparkle to it. It's a Nina's cardstock, a Nina brand. So, got this also. But if we use this, we would have to fold it. And I don't know. I've got to think on that, this particular thing, and see if we actually need it. If we need it, we will use it. I know we're going to need more than what we've got right here, and I'll come up with some more things. I've also got this old doily. I don't want to use a cat on there. Just isn't really what I would. But that is made out of a doily fabric. And I've got some old, I have some flowers that I took out of the same, that's not going to work there. Some of them are straight, some of them are curved. Here's some straight. With a little bit of curve. So see, I could put this on and make it like a card. I don't let anything go by that needs. Now if I did it on this side, I could do it like this, but it would be backwards. So I like it like this better, even if the curve is on the bottom. I'm gonna have to come up with something else, but I just am thinking, I wish this was a little smaller. I mean, we could use a fake one, but I just thought it'd be pretty to have a actual. So I'll think on this, what we can do on this, and with the doily, and see what else I can come up with by the time we do our next video. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up if you did. And in the meantime, let me move these little cats. In the meantime, we've got these 3 embellishments. We've got our, let's see what our decoupage page is looking like. We've got a couple minutes. We could trim this off. Let's go ahead and trim it real fast. We've got like 5 minutes. We can trim this in 5 minutes, can't we? We're gonna sure try. This is still wet, but I'm gonna be very careful. I'm gonna trim from the other side. Come on. I got to get finished and get everything done that I need to do before my Charlie comes, my sweet angel. And that will be in about an hour and a half. So, got to clean up everything I've been working on. Okay. Come on, Paula. And I'll kind of hold these together so we can kind of have an idea at the end of the tape here. How come, or not how come, why and how, and all those words that I am saying that make no sense. Okay, my brain is going 10 different directions. Do you guys ever do that? You just kind of feel like you're in a trance a little bit. It's been, I had a full weekend, always lack of sleep. And, you know, that doesn't help. But Sadie and I took a nap today, and she was such a good girl. She has slept most of the day today. She seems to act like she feels okay. But she will come alive when her daddy gets home, because she goes nuts. She loves him. Okay, so here we go. Move all that over. Ooh, I like that. I'm trying to remember which side's up and which side's down. That is up. Okay, now let me get our felt over here. So I'm thinking we can do the felt on this. See, just like that on that side. And I'm just going to put this in here as an example, you know, for one side. Although this is pretty big, it will probably go on the other side. But, yeah, I like the way that looks. Now we'll bring this in and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is going to be the middle side of the paper, and that will all be stitched. It will all be stitched together. Let me get some paper clips here. Those aren't even separated. So what I do is I paper clip everything on, and I'm very aware of that as I'm sewing. And I like the felt idea, because the felt, I'm already realizing the felt feels much stronger than when we've used paper. And so this will be bent this way, and this will go on here like this. Just like that. And we have our dictionary page behind us there. And then we have our 2 tabs that we will add a button on. It will be right up here. We can either stitch them inside or on the outside. And I will just play that by ear. I kind of like them on the inside. If I can get them to cooperate, that's what we'll do. And then we'll have some fuchsia buttons on there, and we'll stitch it. This will fold in this way, and we'll have both sides, and then we'll have a music sheet and a couple other sheets of paper plus our embellishments, which we will come up with by our next video. I'll have the rest of them ready. There's a fuchsia button. I'll try to find a couple that are similar so it doesn't look so odd. At least that's what I usually do. I like the smaller one here. Look at this. This has 3 holes. Is that weird? That has to be a boo-boo. This is the cheap buttons I'm looking at. And when I say cheap, I mean, you know, it's where some of them have prints on them. our names on them. Okay, I think this one matches the other one. Let's do that. And then I'll tie string through those. And, yeah. All right, guys. All right, so you get the idea of what's going on. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Welcome to all the new subbies. Appreciate you for joining us. You're going to have fun. Go back and binge watch from the beginning. Really nervous in the first video. And then join us. And I want all my current subbies to know that I appreciate them so much for sticking it out with me. And I appreciate the comments and encouragement. Thank you guys so much. Give me a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Bye.